to make 25 books like this, any color. It will take you about 6 hours of cutting, and you want it to look good. And we did miter the corners a little bit with a special scrapbooking miter to give it a more authentic look as a briefcase. So let's take a look at one that I've completed now for grades 3 through 5. It's blue, but has nothing to do with the color of it. And you're going to see that I used all the sides of the lap book. I'm going to flip over the first slide. Here what you see is where we're going to put a decoder, an envelope that says Mission Impossible, but M has been crossed out to make it possible. I created a little activity for them to do with their invisible ink to write a code using the decoder. And I put some index cards here, which you can get really inexpensively at the 99-cent store. And you can see the little brad allows it to then move. So if it's letter R that you're wanting to use, it is this symbol. It looks like a C. And when you're making a message with your Bible verse or any other verse that you decided to use. The computer on top has the invisible ink with a cool, very cool light. That's stored in here, so you always have it. Inside is the other red decoder for the evidence kits, and they look like this. And I would suggest that each day you hand out the appropriate one. I don't know that I would leave them all in there at the same time, but or they can just simply be stored in here. And in the afternoon, in the evening when it's VBS is over, just simply ask for their lap book and do an inventory check that you have the invisible pen or invisible ink writing pen inside the computer when you pick them up from the students. This doesn't go home until it's completed on Friday. Now let's take a look at the other flap. So you open it up, and you open it up again, and each section has activities that match up with the curriculum. I read the curriculum and I made activities to go with it. So there's nothing on here because this is the cover. You open it up and there are 3 activities here. It's about the New Testament. This is in lesson 4, where it asks the names of the New Testament, and there's just a little simple puzzle for them to look at the table of contents and fill those out. And then it just asks here to how many books are in the Old Testament, how many books are in the New Testament. Whoops, I didn't mean for that to come off. That's because of the tape. And then it asks why did God leave the Bible in the world? And you can brainstorm together as to why he did that. Here's where you will put each of the fingerprints. I suggest washable ink pad. I tried another kind and it was a hard time getting it off the child's fingers, but that's what this section is for. Over on this side that you see in bright orange, the color is left up to you, and mounted to the back, the white part are envelopes that are being cut in half and glued down. That's where I would keep each evidence card that you've given, and along with this little secret code goes in each pocket. When you get your master, you'll notice on the bottom it says date evidence day 1, evidence day 2, evidence day 3, day 4, and day 5, where each of them have their own little card that can be placed in here. In fact, I cut the envelope in such a way that when you turn it over, you'll be able to see what the objective, the lesson objective is. And I'm having a hard time with one hand. That it was evidence, death confirmed, and the 3 will match the 3 on the front. Here you were given these little sheets of paper that said evidence log in them that they were supposed to make notes on, and you wonder where to put it. Well, this one says evidence log, so I'll keep those slips of paper there as you need them. Inside in the center part are a bunch of vocabulary words, because you're using many vocabulary words that have to do with detective work. And here's your opportunity to go through some of these words as you use them in your stories and talk about what do each of those words mean and write the meaning on the back. Of course, this means that you will be writing it on the board and they'll be copying from you. Up here is the evidence vault, who done it. I changed the words on this a little bit because I realized I had used it also someplace else. And an activity to describe the events of each of the lessons. My personal favorite one is the one you go to Exodus to study the original Passover. And I did glue it onto an envelope. The last page is glued onto an envelope. And the reason I did that is so I had a place to store a pencil, because every student's going to need a pencil every single day, which is a way for me to do inventory control. The next one is the evidence vault, Live It. And again, I just got this from the curriculum. And it's the ABC of committing your life to Christ. Now, when you get yours, this is my dummy copy, and when you get yours, there will be the ABC text written down the center. So, as you can see, there's lots of different things to do, and it's somewhat up to you and how much time you have as to when you will do each activity. This one is just a little social studies geography, where it says where on the map is, and it's a pedal page. You can see how it's glued on. The circle's cut and glued on, and most of this work the older students can do themselves, and then they read and follow the activity to mark a name where Jesus was baptized, and they can, of course, they can use their Bible, mark a name where he fed the 5,000, and it's the country of Israel is in the center, and the Sea of Galilee. I'm not Sea of Galilee. The Sea of Galilee. The Jordan River, this is the Dead Sea. And then they just label and mark. And lots of Bibles have maps in the back. Also, if you're in the education building, you can use your iPad and mirror with the Apple TV. That would be a very cool feature. Or just bring it up on your iPad. If you have the Glow Bible app, that's a free app that you can do that has both video and maps of Israel. It's a good feature to use. And then, of course, all the aliases of Jesus, which I just list 3, and I explain what the word alias means. And they look it up and write down what he was called under those 3 references. Here, whodunit, case summary. This, of course, is right from your curriculum. It's day 5. It is a little activity they're doing where they're describing the person of Jesus, and they're guessing. So this could be done as a review. Once again, the kids can cut these out and put it in it, and then they write their answer on the back. And this is another envelope. I do envelopes so they have a place to slide those in. Now, when you fold it back, there is something on the back, and you can see things are coming out, but this is an envelope where inside this envelope I have other activities of coloring and matching games, different kinds of activities that you can use when they first arrive in the classroom. I'll show them to you in just a second.